Hello friends, this is Baswaraj Benumle coming out with my second video on carbohydrate metabolism. In this video, I'll be explaining TCA cycle. TCA is expanded as tricarboxylic acid cycle, or also it is called as citric acid cycle. Why it is called as citric acid cycle? Because the first intermediate formed in TCA cycle is citric acid. That's why the name citric acid cycle. And it is the common metabolic pathway for all biomolecules. Like it may be protein, it may be carbohydrate and lipids. Ultimately, are converted, oxidized completely by through uh, citric acid cycle or tricarboxylic acid cycle. Carbohydrate glucose converts to pyruvate to acetyl CoA. So ultimately all the biomolecules are converted into acetyl CoA. It may be amino acid is converted to pyruvate to acetyl CoA, and then acetyl CoA enters into citric acid cycle and oxidized completely to form one molecule of carbon dioxide and one molecule of water. That is complete oxidation. Lipids on catabolism will form acetyl CoA. So the end product is acetyl CoA. So all the biomolecules will form acetyl CoA on oxidation. So that acetyl CoA which is formed on the catabolism of proteins, carbohydrates and lipids enter into citric acid cycle or TCA cycle, which is the final metabolic pathway for all biomolecules. Final oxidation takes place of the biomolecules through this TCA cycle. It is also called as tricarboxylic acid cycle because the first three intermediates formed in the TCA cycle are having three carboxylic groups. That's why the name tricarboxylic acid cycle. So coming to the reactions involved in TCA cycle, first step of a TCA cycle is condensation between acetyl CoA and oxaloacetate. It is a condensation reaction. Acetyl CoA condenses with oxaloacetate in presence of synthetase to form citrate. So in this case, condensation, so one hydrogen from here, you can see here, I am underlining it. So one hydrogen from here is being transported to this ketone group CO. So it will become, here you can see that is COH. It is forming COH. So this one hydrogen is transferred to this ketone. So it becomes CH2. So that CH2 is here. Okay. CH2CO is here. And this OH is coming from this H2O. From this H2O, this OH is attached. This OH is attached. Okay, and one more hydrogen is there in this water molecule. OH is taken up here. So one more hydrogen is there. So that hydrogen is taken by this SCOA. SCOA takes this hydrogen from a water molecule here and it will form HS-CoA. That's how condensation between acetyl CoA and oxaloacetate takes place in presence of enzyme synthetase. So once again I will explain you because this is a bit complicated step. First step, hydrogen from this acetyl CoA is transferred to this ketone group. So it will become COH. Okay, double bond breaks COH, and when hydrogen is transferred, so it will become CH2. CO is there with it already, and this OH is attached from this water molecule, and one more hydrogen is there which is attached to this SCOA, that is HSCOA. In the form of HSCOA, it is being removed. So acetyl CoA condenses with oxaloacetate in presence of synthetase to form citrate. And that is the first step. Next step, citrate in presence of aconitase. enzyme, it is converted to cis-aconitic acid. Citrate is converted to cis-aconic acid. In this, one molecule of water is removed. So that molecule of water is removed by this OH. You can see here I am underlining it. This OH and this H is removed. So when you remove this OH and H from the two carbon atoms, so OH and H is removed, so there will be formation of double bond. So this is the formation of double bond here. So that will form cis-aconic acid. CH2 COH is as it is. Sorry. So CH2OH is there, as it is there, okay. And this double bond, it is formed because one OH from this carbon atom is removed and one hydrogen is removed from this CH. So it is forming a double bond. So it is forming cis-aconic acid. Citrate in presence of aconitase, we remove on removal of water molecule, will form cis-aconic acid. This cis-aconic acid again further in presence of the same enzyme. Cis-aconic acid in presence of the same enzyme is converted to isocitric acid. Isocitric acid. Here water molecule is added. Water molecule is added. So hydrogen is added to this carbon atom. Hydrogen is added to this carbon atom. You can see here to this carbon atom hydrogen is added and OH is added to this carbon atom. So you can see here OH is added here and hydrogen is added here. So that is the change in case of cis-aconic acid in presence of aconitase is converted to isocitric acid. So cis-aconic acid in presence of aconitase same enzyme is converted to isocitric acid on addition of water molecule. So water molecule hydrogen is added to this carbon atom and OH is added to this carbon atom. So that will form isocitric acid. So this isocitric acid further is converted to oxalosuccinic acid in presence of enzyme dehydrogenase and the coenzyme involved is NAD plus. So here what happens, I'll use the pointer. You can see here this hydrogen and this hydrogen. Both hydrogen are removed from this carbon atom. So hydrogen are removed, taken up by this coenzyme NAD plus to form NADHH plus. So when two hydrogen are removed, it will form CO. You can see here. So other things remain same in the structure. So isocitric acid in presence of enzyme dehydrogenase with the help of coenzyme NAD plus, it is converted to oxalosuccinic acid. So what is happening? Once again I will try to explain you. So hydrogen is removed, this hydrogen and this hydrogen are removed. So that will form ketone. You can see here. So when you remove this two hydrogen which is taken up by this NAD plus to form NADHH plus. So isocitric acid in presence of dehydrogenase is converted to oxalosuccinic acid. This oxalosuccinic acid in presence of same enzyme dehydrogenase will remove CO2. Carbon dioxide molecule is removed. So CO2 is removed. CO2 is removed from this center carbon atom. You can see here this CO2 is removed. So this CO2 is removed. When you remove this CO2, it will form CH2. You can see. So the other things in the structure remain same. So oxalosuccinic acid in presence of dehydrogenase on removal of carbon dioxide molecule, That is, it will form alpha ketoglutarate. Alpha ketoglutarate. This alpha ketoglutarate in presence of dehydrogenase enzyme is again converted to succinyl CoA. This is also a bit complicated. Many things are occurring. Decarboxylation is taking place, and also dehydrogenation is taking place. So you can see there. So HS CoA is entering here. Okay. So this molecule CH2COH, this CH2COH is same, will remain same. You can see here this CH2COH is remaining same, and this CH2, second CH2 is there, that is also there. CH2CO, this CO is also there. Okay, what is removed? This CO2 is removed. You can see here this CO2 is removed, that is removed here, and H is remaining, one H is remaining. Okay, that H, this hydrogen, and hydrogen from this sulfhydryl CoA, HS CoA, both are taken by this NAD plus to form NADHH plus. NADHH plus. So this SCOA is attached here to this CO. Okay. So once again I will explain because this is bit. So here condensation between sulfhydryl CoA and alpha ketoglutarate. This SCOA is attached to this, attached here, you can see here CH2CO SCOA. So what is remaining? H is remaining here, and one more H is here. So that is taken up by this NAD plus to form NADHH plus. So what is remaining? So this CO2 is removed. So this CO2 is removed here. You can see here this CO2 is removed here. So from this, so that will form succinyl CoA. Clear? So this succinyl CoA in presence of thiokinase is converted to succinic acid. Here one molecule of water is added here. One molecule of water is added. So the cleavage takes place here. You can see there. This here. CH2CO is there. CH2CO is there. This portion is there. Okay. So OH, this OH is from this water molecule. This water molecule. OH is added from that water molecule. And this SCOA and one more hydrogen from water molecule is removed in the form of HS CoA. So that's how succinyl CoA in presence of thiokinase is converted to succinic acid, where NDP is converted to NTP. Once again I will tell you, this succinyl CoA in presence of thiokinase is converted to succinic acid. In this case water molecule is added, you can see there. So this cleavage is occurring here. Okay. So OH from this H2O is added at this to this CO. So you can see there it is attached here. So it will become CH2COH, and SCO is there, that is taken up by this one more hydrogen from this hydrogen water molecule to form HS CoA. So succinyl CoA in presence of thiokinase is converted to succinic acid, where NTP is generated, that is ATP is generated. ADP is converted to ATP, that is NDP to NTP. It is understood that here ATP is generated, synthesized. Further, succinic acid is in presence of dehydrogenase enzyme with the help of coenzyme FAD is converted to fumaric acid. Here nothing, FAD plus will take this hydrogen from this carbon atom as well as from this carbon atom. Both two hydrogens are taken up. When two hydrogens are removed, taken up by this coenzyme FAD to form FADH2, then there will be a formation of double bond here. So it will form CHCOH, CHCOH, that is fumaric acid. So succinic acid in presence of dehydrogenase enzyme is converted to fumaric acid. This fumaric acid in presence of enzyme fumarase, here a molecule of water is added. So that is missing here. I'll write it. Water, just bear with me. The water molecule is added. So what is happening in presence of fumaric acid in presence of enzyme fumarase is converted to malic acid. So from this H2O, OH is attached to this carbon atom, OH is attached to this carbon atom, and H is attached to this carbon. You can see there, OH is attached here and H is attached here. So that will form CH2, CHOH, COH. That's all. So in this case, fumaric acid in presence of fumarase, water molecule is added, that is missing. So I am writing it. Okay, that is H2O. So this water molecule, from this OH is added to this carbon atom and H is added to this carbon atom. So double bond breaks to form malic acid. This malic acid further in presence of dehydrogenase enzyme is converted to oxaloacetate. Oxaloacetate was the starting material. Again it is regenerated here. You can see there it is regenerated. So what is happening? This malic acid in presence of dehydrogenase with the help of coenzyme NAD, it will form oxaloacetate. What is happening here? So this hydrogen, So this hydrogen from same carbon, this hydrogen and this hydrogen, both are being removed. So that will form ketone group. So this is the starting material which was acetyl-CoA condensed with oxaloacetate to form citrate. That is the starting material. So this oxaloacetate is regenerated. That's why it is a cyclic. The cycle is cyclic. So malic acid in presence of dehydrogenase with the help of in the presence of coenzyme NAD plus is converted to oxaloacetate. Further, just I am briefing you. So this was the acetyl-CoA condenses with oxaloacetate to form citrate in presence of synthetase. This is the cyclic cycle which I already explained you. So to this citrate in presence of aconitase is converted to cis-aconitic acid. This cis-aconic acid further with the in presence of same enzyme it is converted to isocitric acid. In the first here in this case in first step water is removed, and in the next step water is added. Next, isocitric acid on dehydrogenase is converted to oxalosuccinic acid. Oxalosuccinic acid on dehydrogenation in the presence of same enzyme is converted to alpha ketoglutarate. Alpha ketoglutarate in presence of dehydrogenase is converted to succinyl-CoA. Succinyl-CoA to succinic acid in presence of thiokinase. Succinic acid to fumaric acid. Fumaric acid to malic acid. Water is missing. You have to write this water molecule which is missing here, some mistake while writing, so you have to write this water molecule. So this is TCA cycle, explanation of TCA cycle, reactions involved in how to write the cycle with structures. So what changes are occurring, that you have to understand so that you can write the structure easily. Coming to the energetics of TCA, in conversion of isocitric acid to oxalosuccinic acid, 3 ATP are generated because NAD is the coenzyme involved, so that's why 3 ATP. In conversion of alpha ketoglutarate to succinyl-CoA, again 3 ATP. So in this case also 3 NAD is there, so 3 ATP. In case of succinyl-CoA to succinic acid, 1 ATP is generated, NDP to NTP, so 1 ATP is generated here. in conversion of succinic acid to fumaric acid, 2 ATP are generated. That is because FAD is the coenzyme. Wherever NAD is acting as coenzyme, 3 ATP will be generated. Wherever FAD is acting as coenzyme, 2 ATP will be generated. And lastly, in conversion of malate to oxaloacetate, again NAD is acting as coenzyme. So 3 ATP will be generated. So total ATP generated exclusively in TCA cycle will be 12 ATP molecules. 12 ATP molecules. Coming to the significance, it generates ATP by catabolism. It is also a catabolic process, so it will generate or synthesize ATP, and it is the common, as I told you, it is a common and final oxidative pathway for all biomolecules. And excess of carbohydrate is converted as neutral fats, converted to neutral fats, and no net synthesis of carbohydrate from fat. And it is also called as amphibolic. As I told you in the last video, this amphibolic pathway, good example of amphibolic pathway is TCA cycle, because it is having both phases, catabolic phases as well as intermediates of TCA are being utilized for synthetic processes. So that's why it is called as amphibolic pathway. And anaplerotic role, another role is also anaplerotic role is the intermediates which are being utilized are being replenished, because the intermediates of this TCA are being utilized for synthetic process. So anaplerotic role is nothing but the intermediates which are being utilized for synthetic process are being should be replenished, should be supplied. That role we are calling it as anaplerotic role. And another significance of TCA cycle is amino acids enters the TCA cycle after deamination process. So these are the significances of TCA cycle. Coming to amphibolic role, which I was speaking, amphibolic role, TCA cycle is having both catabolic role as well as anabolic role. Acetyl-CoA produced from all biomolecules, which I explained in the earlier slide in the starting of the cycle. Acetyl-CoA is produced from all biomolecules, which is finally oxidized, completely oxidized through this TCA cycle to molecule of carbon dioxide and molecule of water. Anabolic role is intermediates of TCA are used for synthesis of various substances, like it may be acetyl-CoA. Acetyl-CoA is the starting material for synthesis of fatty acid, cholesterol and cholesterol synthesis. Succinyl-CoA is used in heme synthesis. So these are pyruvic acid, succinyl-CoA, acetyl-CoA as the intermediates of this TCA cycle, which are being used for synthesis. So intermediates of TCA are used for synthesis of variety of substances. Acetyl-CoA used for cholesterol synthesis, fatty acid synthesis, succinyl-CoA used in synthesis of heme synthesis, pyruvic acid used in for synthesis of alanine, so on. That is anabolic role. Anaplerosis or anaplerotic role, as I told you, it is the process of replenishment of intermediates. Replenishment of intermediates means supplying the intermediates which are being used for synthetic process. So those intermediates which are being used for synthetic process should be supplied. So that process of supplying the intermediates to the TCA cycle is called as anaplerosis or anaplerotic role, because as the intermediates of TCA like oxaloacetate, it may be alpha ketoglutarate, glutaric acid, it may be, which are used for synthetic processes, variety of synthetic processes. So those intermediates, aspartic acid and glutamic acid synthesis, so they have been replenished, so they have to be supplied. So one good example for replenishment is acetic acid condenses with CO2 with the help of energy. ATP is being transferred, energy is utilized. So acetic acid condenses with carbon dioxide in presence of carboxylase to form succinic acid and ADP. This is a phosphorylation reaction. So this will form succinic acid. This is the intermediate. Succinic acid is the intermediate. So that has to be replenished. So replenishment, supplying the intermediates which are being utilized for synthetic process, you are calling that process as anaplerotic role. Thank you for watching my video. Please subscribe to my channel for pharmacy solutions. Thank you.